IndieGoGo messing with crowd funds once again. What's up? We are back. John Delarose here. Delarose.com. That's DELARROZ.com. Head to the link in my description below. Sign up for my newsletter and get a free graphic novel from me. Best deal you can possibly find. It is the beginning of Flying Sparks, and that is a 4 graphic novel or 12-issue long series. So there's a lot of good reading content. And once you've done that, definitely pick up the AI Wars #1, which is my new comic. As you can see, the reviews are great on it. People are loving this book. Please check it out. Support the channel. Support indie comics. That's what we're all about here. And I guarantee you're going to have fun and enjoy this stuff, unlike what IndieGoGo wants you to do. We had some issues with IndieGoGo in recent years, and there was a group going around the internet basically saying IndieGoGo is the non-SJW alternative. Kickstarter's the SJW alternative. And so you must only support books on IndieGoGo because they will never mess with our books. And sure enough, even though it doesn't get reported by almost any other YouTube channel other than mine, IndieGoGo has blocked 2 books at least that I am aware of over the last couple of years. One by a fellow named Electric Dinosaur and one by Chuck Dixon. Those were taken down. It claimed they violated the terms of service. IndieGoGo refused to pay out on the comic book, and that is what happened there. Now, there was arbitration involved in one of these, and it was resolved satisfactorily. The Electric Dinosaur one, I believe, just was left that way, and he had to try to find other ways to sell his book other than IndieGoGo. So I just don't get it. People want to do this tribal thing as if these platforms by San Francisco big tech, one are better than the other or not. They're just platforms, and they're ones that unfortunately we have to use in order to sell our books. Obviously, I sell my books on Amazon. It just doesn't make any sense to try to make these boycotts of Kickstarter or whatever when you're using a platform like IndieGoGo, which is going to be pretty much the exact same thing. And we've got one that happened again yesterday from Pickles, who is another indie comic creator. He's created the book Vestry, and this is his second book. IndieGoGo didn't mess with him on issue #1, but on issue #2, he just got this message where they're refusing to fund his book, much like happened to the other 2 a couple years prior. This is IndieGoGo's Trust and Safety. Of course, it's always trust and safety. Like there's anything trustworthy or safety about any of this. We noticed your campaign, Vestry #2, contains content that is prohibited by our terms of use. And for some reason, he crossed out the link to their terms of use. Our terms of use states that campaigners may not use IndieGoGo to raise funds for obscene or pornographic items, sexually oriented or explicit materials or services. Campaign pages may not include any explicit language, depictions, or offers of sexual services. Now, this is just a comic book, and Pickles had a cover, which was done by Miss Sashi, who does a lot of my covers also. And while it was suggestive, there are no actual issues with the content thereof. Miss Sashi's covers for me and for Pickles never really went that far, but he had it on the site anyway. Typically, we put campaigns and disbursements on hold in order for the campaign owner to remove any prohibited content from their campaign page. So they are literally holding up money that he earned, which he got from his campaign closing, because they don't like something after the fact. Now, it's interesting. And I do take a little less exception with campaigns that are closed during the campaign, because it's like, okay, well, maybe you don't want that funding on your platform. But after you've already collected all the funds, after you've already claimed you're going to disperse this, it becomes a fraudulent situation at this point. At this point, you are pushing an agenda to try to mess with people rather than actually holding up any terms of service, because otherwise it would have hit months ago when this was actually crowdfunding. And this is a major problem with the IndieGoGo platform, and it seems like they haven't learned their lesson. Now, I don't know. It seems like they don't hit the bigger targets as much. So we've got, of course, some much larger IndieGoGos on here. Pickles is only making a few $1,000s on here. Maybe they think they can mess with him because he's not going to be able to raise the legal funds to battle them or do some arbitration against them or something. Maybe that's the case. In order to ensure your funds can still be dispersed on schedule, you'll need to remove or censor elements related to this content. Now, of course, from what I understand, Pickles reached out to them and they did not give him an answer as to what exactly he needed to remove. This is always what they do, and I really hate these companies for doing this. You're in violation of the terms of service. It's like a circular logic program. Okay, how? I'm happy to comply with the terms of service. You're in violation of the terms of service. Can you show me where? Please refer to the terms of service. What do you mean refer to the terms of service? If you can't show me where I'm in violation, how am I supposed to correct it? And it's never about actually trying to get people to correct any sort of things that they perceive as a problem for their content on their websites. It's always a political thing. If this was somebody making a LGBTQ WTF book, you guarantee they would not be doing this to them. This is only because of a political affiliation that these campaigns get targeted, and this is what's happening right now. Well, I'll keep you guys up to date with this, with what I find, if anything interesting occurs with this. I've already reached out to Pickles and told him about the arbitration process. Hopefully, it doesn't have to go that far, but he is holding on for now in hopes that this resolves itself. If it doesn't, though, we might have another fun time on our hands where we get to do some lawfare against these SJW companies who are trying to mess with comic books. All right, hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.